Hey everybody, it's me, John Anthony Chihak Soltero. I am here with unveiling haul, not a mail call specifically, at least not this part of it. Um, but this past weekend, Bill Simpson and I went up to Phoenix to drop some comics, Bubba Patrol comics, off with Jesse James Comics, and went around to a couple of other shops to see if they were interested in carrying the Bubba Patrol. While we were up there, of course, it's a day trip going to a bunch of different comic book shops, so like picking up some cool stuff. Bought something from pretty much every single shop that we went to, with the exception of the toy store next to Drawn to Comics. And the only reason I didn't pick up anything at the toy store was you'll see in just a minute. But actually, I didn't even know about this until we were on our way back. Or no, but it was after we went to the toy store. So it was kind of funny. So the first two books on here are pickups from Tom's Comics' very first live show on Facebook from last Monday. So 1 week ago. You're seeing this on Friday, the 4th of June, and or later if you didn't watch when it showed up. But you're fine. You're okay. You have food in your bowl. It's totally all right. You're okay. Um, so Tom's Comics, Tom is a staple of the Tucson community. Yes, he is. You have never met him before, but he is a staple of the Tucson community. He's the former owner of Fantasy Comics, and he goes to pretty much every con and show. Of course, with the pandemic and stuff, Tom is a bit of an older gentleman, so that definitely puts him at risk. But I wanted to participate in his first show because Tom's always been really good to his customers, and I believe I made the very first claim on his show, so that's kind of cool. And it was for this Spectacular Spider-Man number 82. This is the first time Punisher and Kingpin fight, which is kind of cool. So you got Punisher down here in the corner. You also got Cloak and Dagger guest starring as well. Then I also picked up this Superman number 4. This is the first appearance of Bloodshot. Good lower priced key right now because with the Suicide Squad movie coming out in a few months, Bloodshot, played by Idris Elba, it's probably going to go up a little bit. The bizarre thing is that when movies and TV shows are announced and things like that, for Marvel, they shoot through the roof. For DC, not so much. Naomi was announced as getting a pilot shot, and it kind of boosted the cost of it, the secondary market of it, and then it came back down. And then the pilot was actually shot, and CW ordered a full season of it, and it didn't really change the price. It kind of went back up a little bit. And for a book that only had, about 25,000 copies ordered, you would think it would have gone up quite a bit more than that. But, Kilowog's first appearance and Joe Mulline's first appearance and all these other Green Lantern first appearances kind of went up, and now they've cooled off again. Whereas, like, the Marvel stuff just keeps going up and up and up. So for somebody like me, who's a DC fan, that's frustrating to know that these keys and these first appearances of characters I really like and stuff like that are not doing as well as Marvel counterparts. But at the same time, for somebody who wants to pick these books up, it's a good thing because these books have not skyrocketed, other than the ones that are always going to be big, like the Golden Age and the Silver Age stuff. But like the more modern, the Bronze and the Copper and the Modern Age stuff is all going to still be relatively decently priced for people to pick up. At Drawn to Comics, I picked up Noctera number 1. This is the Tony Daniel cover, and they actually had the second print cover, which was pretty cool. And then while looking behind that, they had like 2 other covers, this being one of them. Tony Daniel, I love his artwork. So I picked that up. I also picked up a stack of top loaders for some more keys, and also for picking up like sketch covers if I'm going to mail them out and stuff like that. Unfortunately, unless you order top loaders like in bulk, they're pretty expensive, unfortunately. So then at Justice Comics, by the way, Drawn to Comics did agree to pick up multiple copies of the Bubba Patrol. So the next time we go up in a couple of weeks, we're going to be taking books up to them. Bill and I actually worked before we went up on Saturday. I was Bubba graphing all of the books that went out, and then Bill was helping me bag and board them and, you know, tape them closed, and then we sorted them out, stuff like that. So, and then I messaged Justice Comics, Jake Justice, about carrying the Bubba Patrol. I'm still waiting to hear back from him. But I did knock 2 more Nightwings off my list, number 119 and 120. And then Saturday night's show, Jesse James had a handful of Nightwings on his show. So I picked up all the ones from 79 to 100 that he had, which was 5 more. So now I'm only going to have like 20 books left from 1/2 to like 150 something to have an entire run. There's a couple of variants and second printings and stuff like that, or DC Universe reprints, but still be pretty cool to have an entire run of a series that's well over 100 issues. We did go to Bookman's in Mesa and picked up a couple of things there. Took some books, Bubba Patrol books, to them, which is awesome. So this is RPM issue number 2, written by Mick Foley. These are all 25 or 50-cent books. This is Alterna Comics Midnight Mystery. None of these are like super great books. Wow, I didn't even notice how badly damaged that was. Probably wouldn't have bought it. I mean, but for 50 cents, what's the difference? Justice League International number 10. This is actually the first appearance of Gnort. But I mean, yeah, that's a 25-cent book. Huntress number 2. Really, actually, the best book in this set was Pit number 13 from Full Bleed. And that's because all the Full Bleed stuff is a lot harder to get than the Image run of stuff, because this wasn't even Full Bleed Image. This is Full Bleed, just Full Bleed. And then when I went to Jesse James to drop off books, I also picked up stuff that I had been building a box for, and then was just like, you know what, we'll just pick them up. It doesn't really matter. So was Looney Tunes 252. This is one that I bought while I was there. And so, I mean, it's got Lola Bunny on it, and I know there was a lot of controversy about Lola Bunny in the new Space Jam movie, and so that's like, I guess, the OG Lola Bunny. My LCS didn't have this when I picked up Milestone Returns number 0. So glad to get a blank cover so I can draw like Static or Rocket or Icon or Hardware or whomever on there. Was really glad to know that they had that. This is Bob's Burgers number 10, and it's actually the Jesse James Comics variant cover. I'm not sure if there were multiples of these for different stores, but it was pretty cool. I got this for like $3, and in the store, I think it was just on the show that he sold it for $3, but in the show or at the store, I saw it and it was like $5. So I got a couple bucks off on it. Plus, it's just a really unique book. Divine Right, The Adventures of Max Faraday. This is the preview edition. This was $1. This was the attempted, I guess not attempted, but it was a Jim Lee book done by Image and Wildstorm later in the 90s, and there was like even one that they did a chromium cover with and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that's actually even owned by DC. I'm guessing it is because they bought out all of Wildstorm. Super Pro number 1. This one, I wish this was in better condition, but it would have been more money had it been in better condition. This is the red foil ash can for Pitt. These are actually pretty difficult to find, or so I'm told. So if you're an ash can fan, those are always kind of nice, especially those early Image books. They tend to be a little more pricey in terms of the ash cans. I got a couple of Wildcats ones. Now this was Whisperer, Jesse James Comics Whisperer had put together a set of independents. These are all number ones, and there's like 10 or 12 books in here for $8. You can't go wrong with, that's less than $1 a book. And then this was the Marvel Superheroes magazine set. There's how many books are in here? There's 3 of them. Yeah, it's 1 through 3, and it was a couple of bucks for that. Then this is a really fun cover. This is is this Mirka? I think this is Mirka Andolfo. B cover to Batgirl number 49. This is I just remember this cartoon when I was a kid. This is Foofer 1 through 3, and then a Magic the Gathering Ice Age number 1. Kind of wondering, thinking they're starting to do the Magic comics again, and thinking maybe they'll go up in price because of that. This is, and I actually need to take this apart because I didn't do that before. Should have done that beforehand because some cool. Let me just do it this way. I think it's just because they're all from the same show and they wanted to have them packed together. So this was a pack of books that I got. For $10. This is the variant cover for Far Sector number 9. Love this cover. Far Sector number 8 variant. This is one that I wanted to get at the LCS. Okay, that's on the back. Nice. But the cover was kind of dirty. So this is actually my preferred cover for issue number 10. So I got variant covers for 7, 8, 9, and 10 for $10, which is pretty sweet. Far Sector is a great read if you're not reading it right now. I don't know if they put a volume 1 out. But it is a limited maxi series. It's going to be 12 issues, so there's like 1 issue left of Far Sector, and just a phenomenal read. I can't recommend it enough. And then this was kind of one of my bigger purchases from Jesse James. This is the Babs Tar glitter variant of Power Rangers number 1, Power Rangers Pink number 1. It's a 9/8. I did pick this up. It's kind of cool. It's got glitter on it. I'm not much of a Power Rangers fan, but it was a smoking deal for a 9/8 slab, so you can't go wrong doing that. Probably see if any of my Power Rangers friends are interested. And that's going to wrap it up for this part. I'm going to put it in the second video with the toy pickups. So I will talk to you guys later. Until then, please continue being careful, wearing your masks, social distancing, using hand sanitizer, washing your hands, and just being good to each other. Heroes wear masks, and there's a reason for that. As Batman says, it's not for you, it's for the people you care about. So take care of yourselves, and if you have questions about the vaccine, please talk to medical professionals and science professionals. Do not talk to your Uncle Louie, who has conspiracy theories and watches YouTube. Sure, he has a right to his opinions, but opinions are not facts. So continue to take care of each other, take care of yourself, and we will see you on the flip side.